First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
On the line right now is Dr. Kent Hall. Doc, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing this fine election day morning?
Well, it's a very interesting day. I mean, can you imagine? We're looking at temperatures of like 72 to 75 degrees today for election day. It's odd for us.
The sun will be shining.
Well,
I love it.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know if the sun will be shining, but yeah, it'll be warm, so that'll be
It's
nice.
going to clear up, Doc. The clouds are going to clear eventually.
This morning on my way in, there was a glow as the sun was going up. Actually, it wasn't on my way in, just a few minutes ago. There was a glow. You could see, I don't know if you saw it, but you could see the Lord right around the sunshine holding up a picture of Donald Trump. I don't know.
The image of him.
It was amazing.
Yes, it was his image.
A halo. The man who has done nothing wrong. I love it. And I'm sure, Doc, you do too. It's election day. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, it is election day.
Were you an early voter, Doc?
No. My wife and I are going to have what we're calling an election day date tonight.
Nice.
After she gets off of work, we're going to vote.
Well,
that is as romantic as it is ever I've heard.
It is there are a lot of, this has been a really interesting race in that there are a lot of groups that are rallied together, and I'm hearing happy hours, election parties, and that sort of thing. It is, those parties could all end really badly and sadly, but you see a lot of people doing that. Okay.
Or they could go on for several days.
That's exactly right.
God, Doc. No,
right.
Please, no.
Yeah, there's nothing like a good binge party. You might need it after tonight. Okay. Story up on our website right now is very interesting. It came from Princeton Medicine, and the word is that, and Doc, I thought of you, and because you talked about this during COVID. This all came out when during COVID we were working on a vaccine, and I'm sorry, I said Princeton, it's Stanford Medicine, and they say this is where this came from during COVID, and you said that just the way that we're moving so quickly on this vaccine, it is going to help us in other areas, such as maybe a potential cure or a partial cure or some sort of an improvement to treatment for cancer. And that's what has come out of this.
Yeah, so this is interesting. So this is basically using the body's natural way to heal itself or to generate itself. And in doing that, you actually have to lose cells as they get older so that newer cells can come on. The way that cancer works is that it actually inhibits that process of the cells dying, and so it's just rampant moving forward with nothing to be on the other side. What these researchers at Stanford are doing, and it was through this kind of thought process of natural, how does the body naturally work, and how can we use its natural processes, was to say, cancers do that because they actually inhibit that normal process. And so so first of all, they're only doing this with one cancer so far, and it is very early. They've been using cell cultures, and they've been testing it in mice to see if there's any toxic effects. But what they're doing is they're linking together these genes or proteins in such a way that they allow that process, that basically the cells to kill themselves, to turn that gene back on, or to turn that process on, specifically in cancer cells. And it is very interesting. It's also so two things. Number one, very preliminary. And number two, this is only in one type of cancer. It's in B-cell lymphoma cancer. Remember, as I've said before, cancer is not a single disease. It is, there are 200 diseases that we all lump together under cancer because they all have the same effect of basically overgrowth of abnormal immature cells. And if this process works for B-cell lymphoma, then it may very well work for others too, but it may not work for everything. So it's really interesting. It is because we have devoted so much, resources, money, time, energy, effort into, how do we use the body's natural processes to actually fight things, i.e. giving vaccines so that the body's natural process will keep us from getting sick. This is another instance of that. It's really, really interesting.
Is it almost like an immunotherapy where they're basically planting something in your body that is natural and then it goes to work?
Well, so it is. Yes, they're doing that, but it's not immunotherapy. So immunotherapy is about having something identify a cell type as being foreign, and then your body attacks it that way. So that's an attack from outside the cell.
Yeah.
Whereas this is really an attack inside the cell. It is the cell itself saying, "Hey, I'm not supposed to be here. I need to get out of the way for newer cells." And because it's an abnormal cell and they can target just the ones that are the cancer cells, that it seems to be a really positive way of moving forward.
So the medicine that I'm on is called a TKI, which is different because this is a medicine I have to take every day forever for the most part. But it does kind of the same thing. It goes in and it shuts down the overproduction of cancerous white blood cells. And so while similar, this, and I feel like the drug that I'm on is a miracle drug, this goes so much further and could be, the hope is that this works with one cancer, but could work with many others, hopefully.
Right. That's exactly it. First, we have to make sure that it actually works and that it works the way that we want it to, and that there aren't significant side effects and stuff. And then we have to see, okay, if it works with this type of cancer, does it work with others? So the medicine that you're taking, it actually into the cells that are dividing rapidly, and it causes them to malfunction, so that they don't continue to grow. Again, it's a different way. So there are, treating cancer is, there are many different pathways to it, and there are many different ways that we're trying to get this done. And that's good also, because you don't have just one path, because if it turns out it doesn't work, then you're really stuck. But if you've got, 14 or 15 different paths, one doesn't work, maybe the other one does, or maybe they add together, and that's that is the fun in medical research.
The most amazing thing of all is that we are, we're finding ways to, whether it's cure or manage or find ways for people to live with the cancer that they have. These are all possibilities that 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we didn't have. And that's the miracle of it all.
Yeah, and who knows what we're going to have in another 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. I mean, this is the way that medical research, especially in certain areas like cancer and some of the immune diseases, is really moving forward at a breakneck speed, which is interesting. Sometimes it's a little bit of a snail's pace, but then some breakthrough comes through, and all of a sudden it's like a dam, which in this case is a good thing. Yeah. So.
And then finally, it is a good time right now. This would be a really optimal time to get that flu shot or the COVID shot. This is probably the best time that you could do it. Am I correct with that?
Yeah, this is the time that you want to go and get it out, because this is when we're going to start to see more of an uptick again, similar to what we've had the last 3 or 4 years. And this is when flu starts to come on. And the good thing about getting it now is that the flu vaccine, the added immunity
Theater Studio, WIBX Utica,
corrected until about May.
Not sure why it happened, but it completely screwed us all up. We still did hear you, though, but all of a sudden our system fired. What you said was good time to get it, and there you go. Doc, as always, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much, Have a wonderful week, and good luck with the date tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much. Everybody, please get out there and vote, no matter who you're voting for. Just get out there and vote, and please be safe.
All right, thanks so much. In mentioning what the doc said about the vaccine,